Hello everybody and welcome to this channel. Today we are going to talk about one product of the System Center, which is Operation Manager SCOM 2022. Today we are going to try to install it and configure it, and we will try to see some issue we might face, or we can explain if we face some issues during the installation, how we can solve it. I will go quickly through a short document here. We need to go, this is the diagram. In the end, we need to have database. The major database is operation and DB, and the data warehouse. Of course, if we need reporting, it will be included. Also, we will go how to install the database and how we configure the users and install it in the Active Directory. And then we can go for the installation of the SCOM. This time we will install SCOM on local machine, and so the database will be in the same machine. In the next video I will do an installation on SCOM, which is pointing to always on database, which is like high availability. Before we proceed, I have prepared here a domain machine, Windows Server domain machines, which is installed here. This is the host name, the server name is SCOM 2020, and it's join domain. This is my domain controller, and I can see the machine right here. I will come back to the SCOM machine here, and we will proceed of the installation right away with the database. I will come here and install. I already download the Windows Server, SQL Server 22. It's here in my downloaded item as an ISO file. I will mount it first, then I will run the setup file as administrator. Of course, you should be logged in as an administrator to the SCOM. SCOM is a monitoring tool and can be monitor the whole environment in your organization, and it's a flexible tool and good tool to monitor and see the applications and the patches on your environment. Okay, we are here back in the SQL database, and I will install here standalone database. I prefer, before I proceed, I prefer to have for the database two hard disks, one for the logs and one for the database. As you can see here in my server, I have C and D drive. I already mount two disks here in my Windows Server machine. I can show you here, which is I didn't format it yet. Okay, I can initiate the disk here, and I have two disks, which is disk 2 and disk 3. Let me initiate it and format it, and we can do it in this way. For the database, I'm going to give a T letter because D is occupied and A we cannot use it, so I'm going to use T, and I will call this drive as a data. Next. I have it here now. Also, I will format the other disk for the SQL logs. I will call the drive letter L next, and I will call it log. Okay, we are here back. That's it, we can see here. Okay, inside the data drive, I'm going to create a folder, call it data, and inside the L drive I'm going to create a folder called log. Okay, so I am the local admin. Okay, I should give a local administrator. I should add this user as a local administrator on the administrator group. And I should give a local administrator to the machine itself. Select the object as a computer. Okay. Also, I need to go to the database folders, which is the data as we created here. I'm going to give, and I'm going to give a sharing here. To the machine itself. For admin, and to the user also. Also on the security. And the machine itself. Okay, I think we are good to start the installation of the database. We are here, we need to install a local SQL database, so it's not a cluster. I will explain in the other video how to install always on, so we can use the same concept here. Initiate the database. I'm using evaluation version here of the database. I click yes to accept the license module, and I prefer to check if there is any Windows update for the SQL. Here is the firewall. It's giving me a small warning. We can accept it. Next. And for the SCOM to be run, I need to select the database engine as well as the full text here. Then I click next. I'm going to use the default instance name, which is my SQL Server here. Click next. And here I have to select the administrator username, which is I am using now as a local domain administrator. Browse, check. Okay. I need to enter the password. Select it as automatic, and I have to click this box. Click next. I need to add the current user, or also I can add it as a mixed mode, but for the easy we will continue with the Windows Authenticator. Okay, here is the directory we added. Okay, here is the directory. I have to use the database directory, which is I configure it and add the folders. Is the data, and this is for the logs. Selecting the log folder. Of course, for production environment also it's recommended to create another drive for the backup and same like folder for the backup. Again, I'm repeating here for the temp db, which is I want to point it to the same folders. So I'm going to use the T for data, and for the logs I'm going to select as well the L drive with logs folder. Click next. Install. This installation of the database, it might take like little time, depend on your server speed, which is can take from 10 to 20 minutes or 30 minutes. During that, I'm going to download from the same installation media here. I'm going to install the SQL Server Management Studio, which is this one. I'm going only to download it. You should not install it together. I'm just going to download it here. Okay. And we need to download the reporting server, which can be found here, I guess. This is the reporting server. I can download it also. We need the reporting server also to be in the local machine. I am downloading also the reporting server download. It's in process of downloading. Okay, I'm going to also download the System Center System Center 22, which is part of System Center family, Operation Manager and System Center Computer Manager, SCM and SCOM, and those are Service Manager and Data Protection Manager. Those are family of System Center. We are here to download and install System Center 2022. I'm going to download the application also. I'm going to fill this requirement, and during that time I'm going to pause the video to finish the SQL setup, then we can come back. Yeah, hi, we are back after completing installation of the SQL Server on the node which is ending in the IP address 16. What I have done is I just created another user account in the Active Directory. I call it SQL admin, which is I will be using this account for the installation of the SCOM, as well as I needed to run the service account of the SQL Server. I just create a user account, and I, as a normal creation, can show you here quickly. Just a user, and I put SQL admin, and then that's it. And then next here, it's already created. It showed me that it's already created, and I put the password never expire. Also, I add this user as a part of domain admin group, because SCOM is going to scan the whole Active Directory, which is recommended to be a member of SQL of domain admin. Okay, this is my Active Directory. I'm back to the SCOM machine. So this is the SCOM machine, and this some file I have downloaded. I mentioned before that I install reporting services and Management Studio. Let us open SQL Server Management Studio. Or before we do that, just I want to show you the services of the SQL Server. Just I will get it from the Start menu. Yes, this is my services, which is SQL Server, and this is the instance name. What I have done also is just instead of the administrator, I changed the username to SQL admin. Just come here and just change the location of it. Sorry, change the location to entire Active Directory, and just I type SQL admin. Check name and click OK and enter the password. That's it. And then restart the service if it's not if it was running, and then start the service. So okay, I'm starting the service now. It's started, it's active and running. Here is the service. Sorry, this is the agent and this is the service, both running on SQL admin. And I logged in here. As a SQL admin user. Don't forget also to add this user as a local admin. It's here, SQL admin. So we are going to open SQL Management Studio just to confirm that our installation of the SQL is correct and we are able to access the instance in the SQL. Okay, you can see the username. It's Windows Authenticator, and here I'm logging as a SQL admin. Click Optionals and Trust Server Certificate. Click Connect, and that's it. I am connected. Okay. I have to mention here very big note and very important note that sometimes before installation or if you didn't do SQL update, cumulative update, you might face an error during the installation of SCOM. So I have downloaded SQL Server cumulative update, SQL Server 22, and I'm just going to run it. Click yes. Even in SCOM 2019, if you didn't install the SQL Server cumulative update for 2019, I have faced many issues from many users that installation cannot be completed. Installation of the SCOM cannot be completed and giving error in creating the database. So it's mandatory to do the cumulative update. I'm going to minimize this and minimize this, and this is the update. Click yes. It's very easy and straightforward. We already used this database. Click next. It's checking the files. Let it complete. Okay, it's completed. Next, update. Okay, also the update, it will take some times, maybe 5 to 10 minutes. I'm going also to pause the video, then we can continue after the update is completed. So the update of the SQL is completed here, as we can see. I just click OK to close the window. Let me check also if there is any update from the Windows itself. It's also necessary to have an update. See here, there is some update, and it's better to search for an update for the SQL even if you after you install the cumulative update. After this done, we can go and install the reporting service. Let the update finish, then we can proceed. I'm going to pause the video until it's done. Okay, the update is completed. Let us proceed and install the SQL Server reporting services. Run as administrator. Click OK. Install. Next. 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 Install. Normally, reporting service it should be on the local SCOM. So we will see in the other video where you're installing the SCOM on high availability of SQL. It's mandatory to have the SCOM on local machine. So for example, you can have the two database like always on or cluster and other two node, and but the SQL itself should be of the reporting service should be on the local machine. Okay, let us configure the reporting service. The installation is done. Sometimes ask for restart and sometimes we can proceed. Just configure it. So SSRS, this is the reporting service which is necessary in the SCOM. You can install SCOM without reporting service, but we can see the option this later, but it's necessary sometimes, or the customer is needed to have a report. So just here click OK, connect, and it's started. The service account, we are going to use the local account here and enter the password. Click apply. Okay. Here, click apply. Okay. And the database, I'm going to create a new database for the reporting server. Test connection. Connection is completed. Connection test is completed. Next, we can call it reporting server 1 or record reporting server for SCOM or whatever. I will leave it as default. And after the installation, it will appear under the management studio. Next, next, next. Finish. It's done. Okay. Okay. Now the reporting service is configured. We need to go to the next step, which is before we go to install the SCOM, there is some prerequisite which is can be installed from the PowerShell command or the server manager. I'm going to use the PowerShell command, and I can paste it for you in the video description, so it's easy for you to run the command. Open PowerShell as administrator and enable the script, paste the script here, maximize, click OK to run the. So the installation of the PowerShell of the script, it's in process. As I mentioned, you should run as an administrator, otherwise it will shoot you an error. After that, I need to create a few users here for the SCOM, which is needed, or you can proceed. If you need it for a production environment, you need it for each one of this. But for an easy way, I'm going to just proceed with the one account, which is the one here, SQL admin. Otherwise, you need to create those users on Active Directory. After you create the Active Directory, make sure that this account need to be a local admin. This account should be a local admin. But in our scenario, just for the fast and test environment, and I don't need to create these 4 accounts. Also, if you didn't do it during the installation of SCOM, you can install it, you can configure it from the portal of SCOM directly. Okay, and we have here the database. I'm going to refresh and see our reporting service, reporting server service. It's been installed, so we are connected to the SQL. Also, if we remember that we put the database on this folder here and the logs on this folder. I do also remember that I add administrator for those 2 folders, and maybe I didn't add it for the permissions and sharing for this user account. Share this one. Okay, add it, paste, check. Okay, and give full control. Apply OK, and also for the security. Okay, OK, and for the data folder as well. Apply and OK. Security also. Full admin. Okay, okay. That's it. We are back to the PowerShell script. It's success, done, and not require a restart. Okay, let us proceed for the SCOM installation. And this is the source. Here I put it in C drive temp folder. So we have installed SQL Server 2022 and configured the database. install the SQL update, install the SQL Management Studio, and finally we install the reporting service, and we run the script as a prerequisite for SCOM. I will run the SCOM, and now I know there is some prerequisite also, but let us review it together and we can install it for the SCOM. This is the folder here. Right click mouse, run as administrator. It's going to extract the installation file to C drive or to the local drive. Okay, it's going to extract the installation files to this destination. Extract. Okay, so the installation will come here. This is the folder, and the extraction is completed. Click finish. Let us run the setup. Also, it's recommended to check if there is an update, and we are going to go and click install. Okay, this is what I was mentioning, that sometimes the reporting server service no need to be installed, so you can go and proceed with what you want to install. So management server, operation console, and web console, and we need of course the reporting server. Click OK, click next. It's going to verify, and if there is a prerequisite, it's going to mention that there is some prerequisite. A restart is pending. Let us restart. It's better. I'm going to close this, close this, close this, and close this, and restart. Or off, restart the server. Okay, server is restarting, and this is my computer, SCOM 2020. Okay, we can try to connect. It's back. Click OK. Server is loading. Let us open also SQL Management Studio just to take an overview about the database, and let us open SQL Server reporting services, because if it's not running and not connecting, it will shoot an error that the reporting service is not running. The Management Studio here. need to connect to database. Maybe it still need time to start the services. We can check here the services. Shoot an error. Let us check. Okay. Let us start the database. And do a refresh. Okay, this database is running and the agent is running. Good. Click OK. Connect. We are connected. And the report is started. Okay. Let's go back to the SCOM installation and try to do the install. As an administrator, we already checked if there is any update. There is nothing. You can proceed. I'm going to click the 4 of them. Next. Next. Okay. We are good to go, I think. Click next. And here is the SCOM management server group name. We can give any name like SCOM main group. Be aware that this name cannot be changed. And if you install, and we need sometimes this command if we have already an existing SCOM and we want to join that particular group of SCOM. So we need another additional SCOM server or additional server to the existing SCOM group. Okay, we click next, accept the terms and condition. Here we are going to connect to the database that we already have the instance name. So what I'm going to do here, open the CMD as administrator, host name. So this is our host name, and I want to make sure that I am the login as a domain, not a local machine. Okay, and for the database name, we can get it from here. Or I'm just going to disconnect and connect again. Okay, this is the server name. By default, because if you have another SQL instance or you change the name, it will ask you for the instance. But here, for example, it's get the default one. If you have different instance, you can do like this: my SQL Server. What we have it here? My SQL Server. My SQL Server. Hit tab. It's the same. Okay. You can do it like this or like this, but I prefer not to enter the SQL server alone. You have to put the instance. Click next. Okay, the same. This is for the another database, which is we have mentioned here. Let's go back to the diagram. I guess this one. Okay. So this is the reporting server. We select it and we install the reporting server, and the data warehouse, which is we are here. This is warehouse database, and the operation database, which is we selected from the previous window. Okay, we can hit next. Sometimes this will give an error for the SQL Server Instance Reporting Service. If hit an error, you have to make sure that your reporting server service is connected. Sometimes it's not running, so you can stop it and run it again. And sometimes the service itself, it's not running. So go to the services, run as administrator, and search for it. This one here, SQL Server Reporting Services. So if I hit stop now, it's going to shoot me an error. I'm just explaining for the troubleshooting during the installation. Click next. It's just communicating with the reporting server, and it's continuing. If you need to enable the SSL, you can enable it from here, and you need to do it from the IIS. Otherwise, you're good to go. Click next and next, and here we are going to install, as I mentioned here before. If you need to add more than username for each one of this, you can do it. You need to create them in the Active Directory, then you enter it one by one. But for the easiest way, I'm going to use the local admin, and we can do this way here. And here also, and here, and here. Okay. 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 Click next. It's just a warning that we are using a domain administrator account. As I mentioned, for production environment, it's recommended to do with like 4 accounts, and the second account should be a local domain. I mean on the server local domain, the domain group. We are good to go. If you want to use Microsoft Update, okay, and install. The installation will take like from 10 to 15 minutes. We are going to check the database here. We are going to connect. database operation, it's a start creating here, and we want to see if it's going to shoot an error or no. In the best practice scenario, what I have seen in my experience, sometimes that I can show you, it could shoot an error and stop the installation because of the two components. We go here, add remove program, and check. For the ODBC and OLE-DB, we are running on 17.5 and 18.7. Sometimes, if you are higher than this version, see, if you are in ODBC 17.1 here, let us make it more clear here. Yep, this way is better. ODBC 17.1, ODBC 17.10, sorry, it will work. Sometimes if you have ODBC and OLE-DB in this version, like we are here 18, it will shoot an error. So this is the troubleshooting. Go for the lowest OLE and lowest ODBC version. I highly recommend it. If they didn't shoot an error, you can continue with that. If it's going fine, no problem. I think the installation is good to go. We can check here in the database and do a refresh if necessary. So database operation manager is installing, and it start importing. As I mentioned, it might take like 20 to 30 minutes, depend on your computer speed. But I have seen in many environments, and this is very important note, if you are running on high version, like this version or little higher, it's come with SQL Server, by the way, SCOM might not work. SCOM might not work, and it could give you an error here. It will not start importing the database. Also, we can check the database. It's start loading in this folder. See, Operation Manager, and the reporting, we already have it. And also the log is there. Okay, we are good. I'm going to pause the video, and when the setup is finished, we can review together and provide some important information. Yeah, welcome back. Installation is completed, as we can see here, and this is just a warning, and everything went fine. Just click to launch Microsoft Update and close it. I'm going to minimize this. to request for an update to check if there is an update. I'm just clicking this, and in the backend we can see the console of SCOM here. Okay, let us browse through few items from SCOM. For example, let us go to the reporting service, and here just to click the reporting. It asked me for the user that I create the SCOM, the username and password. So this is the username, of course, with the domain, and the password. Okay, just later. And the other URL, it will show me the data of the report. Just click apply. Start loading and click on it. Service is unavailable. We can check that. It's not an issue. Just check the refresh. Okay. Before we proceed, let us refresh the database. Let us see here the database. See, we have the measure here is operation manager and data warehouse, which is we talk about it in the diagram. Reporting, data warehouse, and operation. Okay. There are three services. It's the major services for the system center, which is responsible to run the system center. System center data access service, system center management configuration, and the other service is this one, Microsoft Monitoring Agent. Those are the three services it's responsible to run the SCOM itself. And for the SQL Server, this one and this one, and this is the reporting. I'm going to restart it. And we can see here System Center Operation Manager is installed and running fine. Okay, let us just few check steps before we confirm that it's installed successfully. Okay, I'm going here. Loading, let us check the report. Okay, that's good. So after we restart the report service, sometimes it gives an error, but we need to restart this and it will work fine. Okay, let's go back to the system center. Here, pending managed, and okay, we can open the System Center Operation Manager also from the browser Web Console, or from the normal console. Okay, just last check here. We need to check the connector of SCOM, which is very important. I go to C, program file, and then Microsoft System Center here, Operation Manager, and Server. And we need Health Service status. Click OK. Okay, so everything looks working fine. And if you remember, during the installation of SCOM, we select, this is the group name. This is the main group name for the SCOM. SCOM main group. Looks everything running well. So as we can see here is System Center Operation Manager has been installed successfully and running. Okay, we can just close it and refresh. It's running fine. Just the error that we saw because I restart the services. Operation console. Okay, it's loading. Yeah, as we can see here that the SCOM is installed and working properly, and we can see the database of the SCOM is being created, data warehouse and the operation manager, and the reporting server. Reporting server is here and running fine. It will start loading the activity and the reports after some load or heavy load on SCOM. Finally, this is also the SCOM in the web console, which can be run from web console, or the browser. I hope you have some good value from this video, and please, if you have any questions or if you have any issue during the installation, just write me in the chat and I will be glad to help you. And don't please forget to subscribe in the channel to get the new update for the new technology. Thank you for watching and goodbye.